If Ulysses S. Grant were welcoming you into his command today, he wouldn't give some big motivational speech. He wouldn't pull up a slide deck talking about vision statements or company culture. And he definitely wouldn't waste time talking about finding your leadership style. Grant was quiet. He was kind of awkward. People constantly underestimated him. And yet, he's the man who ended the American Civil War. Not because he was some kind of abstract genius, but because he deeply understood how real work, real people, and real pressure actually function in the world. So, if you're a new manager stepping into that role with all the new authority, new responsibility, and new scrutiny that comes with it, this is what Grant would tell you before you took charge. First, Grant would tell you to be wary of your title. He had rank, of course, but he never trusted it. He'd seen far too many officers get promoted because of politics, their family name, or who they knew. He'd watched confident, charismatic men completely freeze under real pressure. And he'd seen quiet, overlooked subordinates single-handedly carry entire operations on their backs. So his advice to you would be simple. Your position does not make you capable. Your behavior does. As a new manager, everyone is watching you. They're watching how you make decisions. Do you ask real, honest questions, or do you just perform certainty, acting like you have all the answers? Do you actually listen to what people are saying, or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? Do you take the time to learn the real dynamics of the Timor? Do you just assume you already understand it all? Grant would tell you, the fastest way to lose all credibility is to pretend you need to learn. Authority might be given to you, but competence, that has to be earned every single day. Next, Grant would tell you to go spend time with your troops. And I don't mean in a performative way. No big speeches, no rah-rah team-building exercises. He would tell you to simply be present. To watch, to listen, and to notice the patterns. Through quiet observation, he learned the important things. He learned who stayed calm when things got chaotic. He learned who always exaggerated their successes. And most importantly, he learned who was quietly solving problems in the background, without ever asking for recognition. As a new manager, your instinct is probably to prove yourself, and prove yourself quickly. You want to make an impact? But Grant would warn you. Speed without understanding just creates friction and resistance. So, before you go changing processes, before you start restructuring roles, before you try to fix anything, take the time to learn. Learn who actually gets the work done. Find out where the real delays and bottlenecks are coming from. And listen for what people are afraid to say out loud. Real leadership always begins with diagnosis, not with action. Now, Grant was decisive, but he was never impulsive. Once he committed to a plan, he didn't panic at the first sign of resistance. He didn't reverse course every single time something went wrong. He understood that friction, setbacks, and challenges are a normal part of any difficult undertaking. And this is exactly where most new managers fail. They change direction far too often. They overcorrect after every minor setback. They signal their own uncertainty to the whole team through constant revisions and second guess. Grant would tell you, indecision exhausts the team faster than difficulty ever will. Make thoughtful, informed decisions. Clearly explain your intent behind them. And then, hold steady long enough for people to actually adapt and execute. Consistency is what builds confidence in a leader, even when the conditions are far from perfect. Grant also understood something that most leaders never seem to learn. People don't fear hard work. They fear humiliation. He tolerated mistakes, as long as they were made in good faith while trying to do the right thing. What he absolutely did not tolerate was dishonesty, making excuses, or people protecting their own ego at the expense of the mission. As a new manager, how you react to failure will define your team's culture faster than any strategy you could ever come up with. Grant would say, if people fear blame, they will start to hide reality from you. And a leader who is disconnected from reality is a leader who is doomed to fail. You have to create an environment where problems can surface early, where bad news travels fast, because people aren't afraid to deliver it. An environment where your team trusts that you won't punish them for telling the truth. That is how you build a foundation for real, sustainable performance. Another thing about Grant, he wasn't theatrical. He didn't rage or yell. He didn't posture or preen. And because of that, his calm, steady presence had a way of calming the chaos around him. As a new manager, you need to understand that your emotional state is now contagious. Your frustration spreads like a virus. Your anxiety leaks into every conversation. Your overreactions teach people to stop taking risks and just play defense. Grant would warn you, your mood is now a part of the system. If you panic, your team will hide. If you overreact, they'll stall. But if you can stay grounded and composed under pressure, you will help everyone else stabilize. True leadership begins with emotional regulation, not with shouting orders. Finally, Grant never blamed his subordinates publicly. When things went wrong, he absorbed the responsibility himself. When things went right, he deflected the credit to his team. And this wasn't some kind of humility theater, it was strategic. Because when leaders own the outcomes, a few powerful things happen. Teams stay honest, trust deepens, and performance naturally improves. Grant would tell you, blame weakens your authority. Responsibility strengthens it. If you want real loyalty from your people, you have to be accountable first. So, what would Grant leave you with? He wouldn't tell you to be more charismatic. He wouldn't tell you to be some grand, inspirational figure. He wouldn't tell you to lead from the front in a blaze of glory. His advice would be much quieter, much more practical. He would tell you this: learn before you act, decide, and then hold steady. Absorb pressure so that other people have the space to do their work. Protect the truth at all costs. Regulate your own emotions, and take responsibility. Always. That's how quiet leaders win wars. And it's how new managers like you can earn real, lasting followership. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more insights on leadership and strategy. We'll see you in the next one.